3, 2, 1. Action, Ryan.
What am I supposed to... You didn't give me any lines. I wasn't given any direction. You just can't say action on someone like that.
If you are a talent, then you don't need direction. You'll just do it. Whatever it is, and it will be awesome.
Well, I hope it was satisfactory to our listeners and viewers out there.
I don't know if it was to them, but it damn well was to me, Ryan. And that's all that really matters.
You know, as long as I please you, and it's... Wait.
Hey! On that note, everybody, welcome to the Geek Dad Report. The one show dedicated, formulated, specially created in making sure that Ryan pleases me at all times on command. And giving you guys a little bit of news that happened this week and could happen next week, or maybe even could happen in the future or the past. I, as always, is awesome.
You're Brian West, is what you are.
Yeah, and you're Ryan Tomlinson. And together we form the super awesome power duo.
Yes.
Fist bump me. Fist bump.
We're the two-man Voltron, so instead of having we're just like half the body. Just.
But I'm definitely the head of Voltron. You are clearly the ass of Voltron.
I think I'll take the ass. That's fine.
That means I get to be a pretty cool shirt. I am the ass of Voltron.
Yeah. Well, that means I'm also getting Voltron's giant penis, so I get to control all that.
Wait, do we know Voltron? Has it been confirmed that Voltron has a giant penis?
I don't know. My son's he's way into it right now. He just started watching it, so I haven't heard him say anything. So
I do not know what version of Voltron your son is watching, but maybe you should maybe you should change your internet filters, Ryan. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now.
It's a guy that's like in like a box suit, just
with his fucking Robo Voltron wiener hanging out. It's the sword of Voltron. Is that what he's calling it these days? What in the hell are you? You know what? I don't know what you're doing with yourself. Listen, I'm not one to usually like judge someone's parenting abilities because God knows I drink a lot. But I'm judging you right now silently. Actually, I don't think it's really silently. I'm actually calling you out on the internet. Congratulations.
It's not the first time. So
yeah. Well, welcome to the Geek Dad Report, the one show,
episode
the one
105.
show where there's two really bad fathers who talk about how you should be a good father and not be like us.
Yeah. Just do the opposite of what we say to do, and you'll be just fine.
Is it going to be our new slogan, our new tagline? Geek Dad Report. Welcome to the Geek Dad Report. Don't do anything that we fucking say to do, and you'll be awesome. Anyway, whatever. What episode are we on? Is this 105?
Yeah. 105. We are up there.
Welcome to the 105th edition of the Geek Dad Report. We got a lot of shit for you guys today. I think, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Comic-Con's going on right now. D23. D23.
We got a Castlevania show on Netflix to talk about.
We're gonna have a bonus episode or bonus segment that will air after we launch this one for a new Comics You Crave that'll be coming up. I think Monday. So we're gonna keep you guys busy for the next, couple of days. We're
gonna also talk about the Game of Thrones special that we did on Monday that a bunch of you watched, but goddamn it, not all of you watched. And I'm talking to you, Jeff.
Yeah.
I know you didn't watch it. I know you're gonna watch this, and I know you didn't watch that.
Yeah.
And damn it, you better next time. We put together all this hard work. We didn't really do any hard work. We just hit record.
And then we said, "Is Jeff gonna like this?" And we said, "You know what? I think he is." But then I don't even know. We sent to the show around one person sometimes.
No, we don't. Yeah, me.
Yeah, you.
Speaking of me, I also have a review for you guys tonight. I'm going to review. I'll give you a hint. It involves Spider Bulge. It's making a return.
Spider Bulge.
You know what? We got a new. Before we start the show, I'd like to give a shout out. We got a brand new subscriber, and like me and Ryan said, if your profile isn't private and you subscribe to our show, we will give you a shout out on this show.
So who is it?
What?
Who is it? Who's our new?
His name is Sten Johansson, and he is a man among men. In fact, he is a Paul Bunyan-like Norwegian.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with a last name like that, I would expect him to be like an extra.
Sten Johannesson. I think that's probably not how you say it.
Is
But I'm gonna say that's how you say it.
Is he an extra on the show Vikings? That's just what I want to know.
No, but he should be. In fact, I went to his Wikipedia page, and he is a legendary Norwegian demigod who has a giant axe and a bull that he rides around.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. So, thank you.
He's our follower now?
Yeah, he's followed us on Facebook, on YouTube, not Twitter, but I'm going to reach out to him directly and tell him he better get his shit together and get on Twitter.
Like, dude.
He's following us on MySpace, on Instagram, that we don't have. He hooked up on LinkedIn. I mean, he's just pretty much... He's trying to take over for Jeff for being our Faithful 50 #1 member.
Did he find our AOL Instant Messenger?
Yes.
He's joined. We still have that, right?
I thought we were on Netscape. I didn't know we were on AOL. Did we upgrade to AOL?
I don't know. Well, we had that stack of CDs that we used, so, you know.
Dude, I had a case of those. I'm still burning through them. It's great.
All right. Thanks for
following. If you don't know what that is, you are probably not our target audience. And welcome to our show.
Welcome to our show. That's the opening.
Congratulations. If you don't know what AOL or Netscape is, this is your future in 20 years. You're going to be sad and lonely playing with toys with your buddy on the internet, making videos like us. Actually, I'm not sad or lonely. I have an awesome family and cool friends, and I'm totally cool.
So, Brian, did you have, while you were on vacation, did you have any Geek Dad moments while you're out there? Since we recorded last?
Well, let's see. We went on an airboat ride. That was cool, but that wasn't geeky. We hung out with some alligators. That was cool, but wasn't really geeky. I took my oldest to go see Spider-Man, which I will be reviewing on the show. Spider Bulge.
I gotta ask, though, if you go to that alligator place, is there, like, a guy named Jim Bob who, like, has a mullet and he sticks his head in one of the alligators?
No, there was a guy who did, he, grabbed it and he stuck his, face on it like this and he put his hands out and he wrestled an alligator. Dude's crazy. He didn't have a mullet, though, and he looked like he was wearing, he was one of those guys who was wearing, socks but with the sandals. I was like, dude.
Oh, really?
It's not a good look. Not a good look. But he did make a New England Patriots or cheaters joke, so he was cool in my book.
Yeah, I think everybody likes a good Patriot joke.
But let's see, what else did I do? That was pretty much it. I mean, there was not really I mean, I spent 8 days trapped with my children in small confined spaces, so.
Yeah, it's only about as fun as you can get. I
played Family Feud with my daughter on my iPad on the trip home on the airplane.
Yeah.
We talked about comic books. I bought her some new comic books to read for the trip. We watched Kubo and the Two Strings, which is a great movie. I'd recommend it if I didn't have a Spider-Man review.
I gotta watch that.
It is a really good movie. But I will argue with a few people who said that should have won Best Animated Movie of the Year a few years ago, or last year, year before.
Yeah, it was last year, I think.
Zootopia, I think, well, personally, I still think Moana was a better movie than Kubo and Zootopia, but that's just me. But no, it's a really good movie, and then, I don't know, what else did I do? I drew a bunch of pictures. I drew a Supergirl picture for my daughter. Now I'm just rambling. Fun. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, we went to Orlando. It was fucking hot.
It was a vacation.
It was a vacation. We didn't go to any of the theme parks because it was 100 degrees and my kids were complaining incessantly. We went to this alligator farm, which was really cool. Like our park, you could see all these alligators. But it was, I mean, there was no lines and it was 100 degrees. And the whole time my kids complained for like an hour and a half. Because I was going to surprise them and take them to Harry Potter Land at Universal. Because we're going to Disneyland later this year, but none of us have seen the Harry Potter world at Universal yet. So I was like, well, we'll be in Orlando. I'll surprise them all. It'll be great. Everyone's going to be happy. And then they whined for hours about how hot it was. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to go stand in line at Universal Studios listening to you two whine incessantly about the heat. Sorry, Mr. Chance.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
Well, I haven't done too much. My kids are really into playing Skyrim right now. And
isn't that a rated M game, Ryan?
I don't let them do any. All they are allowed to do is they get to run around and they hunt. They shoot deer and like mud crabs and bears. So they're allowed to go around and hunt. You know,
Yeah.
they shoot animals and stuff, and then they take all the hides and they make armor.
Yeah, that's all they tell you they do.
No, that's all I let them do. They're not allowed to play without me. So
That you
and then,
know about.
and then they go into the mine and they do some mining and they make armor. So basically, I just used them to they got all my guys' smithing skills up really high right now. So
Whoa! So basically, you're using your children for child labor.
yes, of course.
Oh my god!
So
All right,
that's what I've been doing.
That is a good geek dad. Congratulations.
But we do have a lot of news that we need to start plowing through.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, I guess we'll just bring we'll bring you guys some ninja news.
Chop, chop.
You know what? I don't feel like doing the chops.
Punch.
We start with some sad news. A couple people died recently, and it sucks. The first was what?
I said a shitload of people.
Yeah, the first was unfortunately today. The front man for Linkin Park has passed away at the young age of 41. Unfortunately, it was a suicide. He hung himself. They found him hanging. Obviously, this is awful, but it just sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. It sucks.
Yeah, I remember when they first came out when I was in college, and
Yeah.
we really liked them. They're a good band. Once I found out, when I was cleaning up the kitchen and stuff like that, I would turn on some Linkin Park on my phone and just listen to it, and I always don't know what to say about suicide.
Yeah,
that's always a hard one.
It's rough. I mean, he had 6 kids he left behind. That's, you know, I don't know what demons that Chester Bennington was fighting. Unfortunately, whatever they were, they got the best of him, and it sucks. But I'm gonna remember the music that he made, and Linkin Park has always been one of my favorite bands, and they will continue to be one of my favorite bands. And this, like I said, it just sucks. So, you know, we'll say what we always do on the show, and Godspeed, may the force be with you. But I don't know, this one's crappy. I mean, this is 2 music icons in the last couple months that have both hung themselves. So, you know, honestly, if anybody's listening to this show and you're going through a hard time and you're having bad thoughts, man, reach out and talk to somebody, because it's, you know, that's...
Call the suicide helpline. That's what they're for.
I mean, the only people that get hurt are the ones who get left behind, and you know, fortunately for Chester, whatever he was dealing with is now over. Unfortunately for his family, the ones he's left behind are the ones who are going to have to pick up the pieces. So, anyway, it sucks, but we did want to say that, you know, like I said, I mean, force be with you, Chester, but we will remember Linkin Park for the great band that they were, and I'm sure the remaining members will probably do something pretty awesome for them. But I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, if you're struggling with something, reach out and talk to somebody, or call the hotline, or DM me or Ryan. We'll be more than happy to talk to you, or try and talk you off the ledge. But just remember, there's always better days, and there's always somebody out there who can help you see past what you're fighting. So, yeah. Anyway, God, it's a down way to start the show, but had to be done.
Yeah.
Next up, not nearly as sad, but also, you know, well, not nearly as tragic, but definitely sad. George R. Romero, the godfather of the zombie flick, has also passed away this week. He was, I believe, 77? I'm not sure what he died from. Old age, I'm guessing, because he was 77.
And I've seen some people comment that are like, you know, just don't come back from the dead, and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, just people make sure that they, you know, shot him in the head, like, after he was done. And so, you know, like, I saw a whole lot of comments like that, and some people were kind of ticked off about it, and some people were like, he probably would have just laughed at that, you know, if he'd known, you know, that's what people were saying. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a fine line whenever you're dealing with dead people, with people passing. Like I said, there's a lot of people who care about them.
Especially people that are in the horror genre. I mean, it's a whole different crowd.
I feel like George R. Romero probably would laugh at any of the zombie jokes that were made about him at his funeral, but I don't know. But you know what? He left a legacy. We have The Walking Dead and every single zombie movie ever, the entire genre, to thank for George. And he made some great movies. So, his presence will be felt for generations to come. And, his movies will live on forever. And, he left quite a legacy behind. So, George, as we always say on the show, Godspeed and may the force be with you.
Thanks for your legacy.
Actually, we don't say that on the show. We say, good journey, and may the force be with you.
Is it? I don't know. It changes.
Whatever. Godspeed. Good journey.
Peace out.
I think good journey. We got that from Master of the Universe. Yeah. Later, dude.
Yeah.
And may the force be with you. And continuing our happy train of dead people. Unfortunately, the Walking Dead stuntman recently just died too.
I forgot about that.
Bernecker apparently tried to do a stunt where he had to fall off a 22-foot building and apparently missed the landing. There's a lot of different stories coming out that he, halfway through the jump, he realized he was going to miss it, so he tried to grab the ledge and it threw him off. Either way, he landed 22 feet, he fell 22 feet and landed on his head and neck area on a concrete patio, which is not good. He was taken to a hospital where he later died from brain injuries. So he was only, I think he was like late 20s, early 30s. He was not very old either. He's just, God, shitty.
Right, we got any happy stuff?
Yes, we do. But before we do, we'd like to say good journeys and may the force be with you, John. Jesus. All right, moving on.
That's the most we've had to do in one shot.
God, dude. So, we had one really tragic death. We have another guy who died of old age who's pretty cool. And then you have another tragic death of a young person who... Yeah. Anyway. But we got to cover it. We cover all the geek news and happenings and...
people need to know.
Other stuff people need to know. All right, moving on. God, we got a lot of news because... I don't know how far back we should go with our news because I was off last week in case nobody noticed.
Let's go back a week.
All right, well, hang on. I do want to bring up one quick story. Well, you know what? Screw it. We're talking right now. Star Wars D23 happened this week, and we have a lot of Star Wars news for you. Not too many spoiler stuff because me and Ryan have taken a pledge that we are done. Done.
Yeah, I've not looked at anything.
Yep.
So far.
Not reading any spoiler stuff. Not watching any more trailers, except for I did watch. Did you watch the behind the scenes footage they released? A little 2-minute. So
didn't even do it.
I did that only because the last one for The Force Awakens just had so many goosebump feels that made you so happy. And I'm glad I watched this one too. There's a lot of really good Carrie Fisher stuff that really it brought all the good feels. And I don't know. I think you should check it out. I don't think it gives too much away. But that being said, right before D23, a story came out that Monopoly. So last year we talked about on this show. Monopoly had been heavily criticized because their Force Awakens board games did not feature Rey figure pieces. Little pieces, right?
She was the only one left out.
She was the only one left out, and people naturally said, hey, where's Rey? She's only the main character in this movie. And they felt that there wasn't enough interest, and they did not believe that this character was going to be so popular, right? So they said, our bad, we didn't know, we will be releasing sets that have Rey. Well, they have still not released sets that have Rey, and they do not plan on including Rey in the Last Jedi Monopoly games. So people are really angry. And so when they asked
there's some
Hasbro
old
about
white dude that's sitting at the boardroom, and they're like, they don't like girls. Girls don't.
When people petition Hasbro to say, why are we still not getting Rey, guess what they said?
Not enough interest.
There's still insignificant interest in the character to include her in the game. Ugh.
Well, we did a test study that was all white males that were age 78 and above.
The test study was with their Uncle Bob, Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, their focus group is all like, retired guys in Florida. That's who their focus group was.
They went to the boardroom and they said, sign of hands, who wants Rey? And so like a bunch of people over 70 is like, who's Rey?
Yeah.
All right, there's no interest.
What's Star Wars?
What's a board game?
We had rocks and sticks in my day.
Is it time for pudding? Oh God.
Where do I pick up my $6 million check?
Yeah.
It was a hard day.
Has anybody got any hundreds? All they got in the bathroom is $20 bills to wipe our asses with. This is not going to work. Oh my God. Anyway, I don't even know what to say about this. It's other than fucking get your shit together, people. If I can explain to my daughter one more time why we can't find Jen Erso, Rey, female action figures, T-shirts, I'm just gonna like.
Well, how's this seeming to be for like all the action figures and stuff? I mean, this is just a Monopoly board game. Do we know?
You still can't find a Rey. I found one Rey, period, and I've had to order the other ones. Even when I went to, I will say that they did a lot better job for Jen Erso. When you go to the Disney stores now, they had a lot more of those figures, but you still can't find Rey. They cannot keep Rey on the shelf. I get she's a popular character, so a lot of times the popular characters are bought, but fucking it's Rey. She's the main hero right now in Star Wars. Can you imagine in the 70s and 80s if they went to the store and they didn't have a Darth Vader or a freaking Luke Skywalker? No, it would never happen.
But we'll make sure to get a whole bunch, of Poe. There's a lot of Poes out there.
I don't want any Poe, alright? I don't need any Poe. I like Poe, he's a great character, but on my shelf, I don't need any Poes. Look. I got Rey. Look. Woo.
Get your shit together. It's toy companies.
I'm just tired. Can we quit pretending like we're still in the 50s, everybody? Can we just, all you old white people who make a lot of money, can you just like realize like, hey, girls like shit too. Dads like buying their daughters shit. I like buying shit. I was pissed I couldn't find a Wonder Woman shirt for a dude. You know how frustrating that is? You know what? Take that and amplify it by 1,000. That's how all women feel trying to find any merchandise, right?
Yeah, that's true.
God, it's frustrating. Anyway, moving on. Star Wars. They got some cool shit coming out. Namely, Star Wars Land. It's going to be called, it's got an official title. Star Wars Edge of the Galaxy is the new Star Wars land at Disneyland.
That's the one you can like walk around and stuff, right?
Yeah, Disney actually released, if you head over to our Facebook page and check it out, or go to StarWars.com, they released a whole bunch there's a ton of models. They released all the pictures of the models of what it's going to look like. It kind of looks a lot like Naboo, honestly, to tell you the truth. So if you want to know what the structures and stuff look like, picture Naboo in the prequels, and that's kind of what Disney Star Wars Land Edge of the Galaxy looks like. Except for you can see clearly right in the middle of it's a giant full-size replica of the Millennium Falcon. There's cantinas and bars and all kinds of cool stuff in it. Check it out. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
There's going to be like aliens walking around and shit, and you're going to just be like...
Well, included in this Star Wars land is going to be a hotel that people can stay in. I don't know what the name of the hotel is, but it's a Star Wars, completely interactive Star Wars hotel. You can choose what side of the hotel you want to stay in. You can stay in the First Order, or you can stay in the Resistance. It's completely, everyone's in costume. It's completely an immersive environment. So you're staying in the Star Wars universe. You're not staying at a hotel that's part of Star Wars land. You're in Star Wars land staying there. It's going to be fucking expensive, but sign me up.
I'm betting that you want to stay in the Resistance part.
Of course.
Yes.
A good guy through and through.
I would say First Order, but I know that my son would never let that happen. So he's always the good guys.
He's a good lad. Smart kid.
But that sounds awesome, Ed. That place is going to be sold out like every day for like the first 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be able to like get an open hotel room.
No. Well, we have ours reserved because Disney's going to first class pay us to come down and review it for it. So you get that set up.
Well,
where are we at on that, by the way?
Oh, I have already got my reservation. Did you get yours? I mean,
yeah.
They sent me all the stuff.
You will come and review Star Wars Land, Edge of the Galaxy. Do you have tickets?
I have multiple tickets.
Good. One of them better be mine. No, I have not gotten that email, you son of a bitch. You better not be holding out on me, Ryan. I swear to God, if this is about all that money that Sony gave me for my Spider-Man review, I cut you in on that. I gave you your normal 1%.
I'm pretty sure that $10 was not the 1% of.
You should look at the terms of your contract, Ryan. I didn't force you to sign it. You did that on your own. I offered you a lawyer. You didn't want to take it.
The lawyer was a dog dressed up in a suit.
He went to a very prestigious canine university. Whatever. Anyway, some more Star Wars stuff. We were ramping up because The Last Jedi is only, 4 months away?
Yeah. December.
And we're really excited, if you can't tell. But they just released some cool new character posters. Basically all the main stars of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. All wearing... They're really cool pictures, but they look like Red Riding Hood. They're all wearing, red...
Yeah,
cloaks.
I'm trying to figure what's the significance of the red stuff.
Because the Star Wars logo is in red.
Oh,
so they're doing the whole.
Gotcha.
Yeah, got it.
Yes, now it makes sense.
Is it all coming together now for you?
Yeah, thanks for laying it out.
Yeah, well, it was a very detailed way. I had to go, a very very intense journey that I had to take you on to get there. But we got there. That's all that really matters.
Let's
see, I'm stalling because, real quick, little fan theory here. We on this show had talked at length of who we think. I don't know if I did on the show. Maybe it was after the show. But one of the popular theories was that Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels could, in fact, be in this movie. Maybe he might be a Dark Jedi. Maybe he's because Benicio del Toro is about the same age as Ezra Bridger would be if he was in The Last Jedi, and Benicio del Toro is in The Last Jedi. So there was kind of no word on who he was playing. A lot of us speculated that possibly he could be Ezra. Well, director Rian Johnson came out and said, nope, he's not. He's playing an all-new character. His name's DJ. It does stand for something that will be revealed in the movie, but it is not Ezra Bridger.
So, what do you think if it stands for something, so it's got some significance from somewhere.
Dwayne Johnson, he is playing The Rock in the Star Wars universe. That's my guess.
If you smell what the Force is cooking.
He's going to pull a straight on Arya. He's going to rip the mask off.
Yeah. He's gonna deliver the people's elbow right on the Snope. He's gonna stand there and go.
I'm all on board on that. I think that's an amazing way to do it, and I think we should go with that. And then last little bit of Star Wars news before you got for it. It's not really very much news, honestly. Ron Howard, in an effort to really get people excited about the Han Solo movie, because everyone,
it's just plummeting
right now.
People
The
are
Han
going,
Solo,
no.
yeah. The thing, what shot first was Chris Miller and Phil Lord. That's who shot first on this one. Anyway, it gets the feeling it kind of feels like a big Star Wars dumpster fire right now with that movie, and to Ron Howard's credit, he's really trying to get people excited. He's been tweeting out pictures of cryptic pictures. He showed they may possibly be bringing the holiday Star Wars Holiday Classic into movie lore. They showed a picture that could possibly be Chewbacca's family. He also tweeted out recently, he shared the first picture of Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian.
Well, you gotta zoom in.
Even if you zoom in, it's you could see a guy leaning down. It does, whatever. You can't even tell it's freaking. All it looks like is a black guy in a Star Wars costume, kind of looking down. You can't tell it's Lando Calrissian, but
and people are, it's Empire of the Millennium Falcon. It's what's the significance in that? We know it was his before, so
I almost didn't even share that post on our Facebook because in some ways it's so clickbaity. But everybody was running with it. I'm like, well, we could talk about it, and it is technically the first view of Lando Calrissian.
It's Star Wars. I mean, anything Star Wars can be clickbait.
It's the world we live in. If it says Star Wars, people will be like, Star Wars toilet paper. It'll get 10,000 hits because people love Star Wars. I mean, I love Star Wars too, don't get me wrong. But whatever. Alright, I think that's all the Star Wars news we got. What do you want to talk about next? We got a lot of DC news or some potpourri. What would you like?
I like DC.
You like DC? Shazam has been confirmed. It's the next DC movie to the film, and it has a director.
So it's gonna go Justice League, Aquaman. Wait.
Yep.
Justice League, Aquaman, Suicide Squad, Siren.
Not yet.
Or
We
Batman.
haven't actually confirmed Suicide Squad. So right now, so we'll know more next week. Right now, Comic-Con has just kicked off, so next week should be a complete jam-packed Comic-Con edition of the show. We'll obviously share things as we hear it, but we'll be talking more about it in depth next week. The Warner Brothers panel, I think, is on Sunday, so we'll hear more. But there has been 2 confirmed movies that are coming out in 2018, and the first one, it got released a little bit early, is going to be, I think it's 2018. It's going to be Shazam. So next year we are going to get Aquaman. There's 2 more movies coming out. It looks like one of them is going to be Shazam. It's starting to shoot really soon. It's got a director, David F. Sandberg. He directed like the Conjuring sequel and some other crap. I don't know. People are excited about him. They still haven't cast Shazam yet, and there's been more news that The Rock is not going to be the villain in Shazam. Black Adam apparently is going to get his own standalone movie before he fights Shazam in a different movie. I don't know. Whatever.
It's The Rock. Why not?
Yeah, all I know is Wonder Woman 2 better be starting to film real soon. I'm pretty sure the rumor is that they're going to be officially announcing Wonder Woman 2 at Comic-Con. So,
and it's going to be a male writer, a male director.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. We already know, like you said, there's not that many surprises they could have. We already know that Wonder Woman 2 is coming eventually. We know that Shazam's coming. We know that a Nightwing movie's been confirmed. We know Birds of Prey is coming. We know that Suicide Squad 2 is coming. The only thing we haven't been confirmed is a Man of Steel 2 sequel could be coming. They could maybe be confirming a director. I know Matthew Vaughn was circling that for a while, which I would love to see him direct Man of Steel 2. So there's a few properties that we still don't know about a Flash movie. Cyborg, I think, is going to get canned. I don't think we're going to get a Cyborg movie.
I've been hearing interesting things about the Batman movie. So it's just like...
Yeah, well, apparently the script has been completely Matt Damon's.
Matt
Damon. Ben Affleck's original script that he wrote with Jeff Johns has been completely canned by Matt Reeves. Apparently he's going off on his own... he's doing his own script, and apparently this is going to be like a noir detective story, and apparently he's got ideas for an entire trilogy. I don't know.
It's going to be a big poop fest.
Let's just make one really good Batman movie with Ben Affleck, and then we'll talk about the next one. How about that?
Yeah.
I still like the idea of Deathstroke, man. I thought Deathstroke would be a great villain. I was really excited about that.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see here. What else? The DC. Oh yeah, surprise! Guess what? DC Superhero Girls is DC's most successful new property. Shocker.
Oh, gee, big fucking surprise.
Weird when you make a cartoon targeted towards females, girls who love comic books. It becomes super popular. Weird.
My daughter has the the paperback, the graphic novel copy of Superhero Girls Finals Crisis.
Yeah, I got it too. It's the only one you could find. Both my girls want more, and they only have the one.
Yeah, and she reads. I think she's read it like 100-something times now. I don't know how many times she's read it, but it's like getting worn. Because she's read it so many freaking times. She loves it. And they got the movies. She loves the little movies. And I'm not surprised.
I've heard there's going to be more feature-length animated movies, and they're going to have a regular-length TV show. So right now they just have the 5-minute clips, which are not nearly long enough. So it sounds like there's going to be a half-hour-long episode-type series that's coming soon. There's going to be more animated movies. Yeah. There better be more comic books. I know they're really pushing the toy line. But my girls love that, but I really need more cartoons because that's all they want to watch.
The Finals Crisis book is the number 2 selling DC Comics book behind The Killing Joke.
Really?
Yeah. In the last year.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that is the number 2 selling book behind The Killing Joke. And that's only because they did The Killing Joke movie, which made everybody buy the comic.
Anybody who hasn't checked this out, if you have children, If you have girls, even if you have boys, to get them on this. It's there's boys in this show.
My son read it, and he said it's not like his favorite thing, but he liked it. He read it.
Well, the best part is they've taken a lot of villains, they've taken a lot of characters that have been overly sexualized in the adult versions of their heroes, and they've made it in a way that younger girls can watch it, they can feel empowered by it, they can relate to it, and they can have something that's theirs, right? And they've introduced introduced new characters, but they've introduced characters that maybe not were as big of characters, like Bumblebee, and they've made them really big characters in here, and the kids love it. They absolutely love it.
And I mean, Poison Ivy, who's some of the bad guys? But they're not like quote unquote bad. I mean, there's Katanas in there and Poison Ivy.
They've got Harley Quinn. They've got a younger Wonder Woman.
Harley Quinn's like she's basically just like the school prankster. Because they're all basically at like a high school. Well, and there is like the Flash, Beast Boys goes to the high school, so it's not like an all girls school. But they all, technically get along, and they're just trying to, work on their stuff. It's not DC canon or anything like that, but it's fun. I actually enjoyed watching the movies with my daughter. So,
well, not everything always has to be canon. Honestly, I enjoy watching it with them just because I enjoy watching with them because how much they enjoy it, right? And it always has a really positive message. Work together. Don't judge a book by its cover. Really, I mean, this is something that we've said from day one. One of the great things that DC does so much better than anybody else, including Marvel, is their female characters. They have such a rich tapestry of female characters to draw from. It's really easy to find characters that girls can really get into, and I'm glad that they've taken them and they've made them more age appropriate for younger children because it's smart. They're introducing these. They're making lifelong fans out of children, out of these younger female who are going to grow up and be like, I want more Supergirl, I want more Wonder Woman, right? And as they grow up, they're going to, as they get older, they'll be able to read the more mature DC normal comic book line. But this is a great way to introduce them into those characters, and I'm kudos to DC for embracing that.
Yeah, my daughter's all about Supergirl. She's like, she wants a Supergirl doll thing that comes with it, and yeah, so. And she didn't even know she knew who Wonder Woman was, but she didn't really, and she kind of knew Supergirl, but she didn't, she knew of her, so.
Well, they love them all, man. Batgirl, they got Batgirl.
She knows everybody now.
Yeah.
Oh, she loves Batgirl. She loves Batgirl.
Yeah, they love them all. They're great. But if you haven't checked it out, we highly recommend you check out DC Superhero Girls. They do have a movie out. They have some shorts, and they have a comic book. Great. But like we said, no surprise, it's DC's second best selling comic book and fastest growing new property of everything that they do. That includes all the new Superman titles, new everything. Hey guys, like we were saying, girls like shit too.
Yep.
Shocker. All right, moving on, because we could literally talk about that all night. Real quick, I said Shazam is going to come out in 2018. My bad, it actually starts filming 2018, probably for a 2019 release. Let's see. There's some Game of Thrones stuff, but we pretty much talked about that. Me and Ryan we had a lot of good response to our standalone review of the season premiere of Game of Thrones, and I haven't talked to Ryan about it, but we may just start doing a hopefully shorter version every Monday of the show because it's only 7 episodes.
I thought 15 minutes, so it's always 40 minutes long.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm happily married, Ryan.
It's the first episode, so there's a lot of stuff that happened that we had to talk about.
We're not going to normally do predictions every week, so we could probably get it down to 30 minutes.
And it's been longer than a year, so we had a lot of stuff we needed to get out.
But if you would like us to continue our weekly coverage for the next 7 weeks of Game of Thrones, just let us know because I think we might do that. Other than that, there's a bunch of Game of Thrones theories and stuff. Me and Ryan talked a lot about them. I'm not going to cover them now.
Just look on our feed. We put up a couple of them. So
yeah, it was awesome. Check it out. Let's see here. Some Pop Hurry news. The new Doctor has been announced for Doctor Who, and it's a girl. The internet melted. Get over yourselves. I don't watch Doctor Who, so whatever.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I started watching from when they did the reboot, and I think I'm on like the 3rd season, so I'm way behind. So I don't care. It's still a new Doctor Who shit. right?
Yeah, whatever. I think people are just mad because it's a girl. Guys,
Yeah.
apparently, I don't know, I haven't watched the show, but apparently the Time Lord can reincarnate as anybody. It makes perfect sense that it's a girl, so just fucking deal with it. If you don't like her, guess what? In a couple seasons, she'll get killed and you'll get a new doctor anyway, so hey.
Yeah, so cry your baby tears.
The Queen biop is finally moving forward. Rami Malek, the guy who plays in Mr. Robot, is going to be Freddie Mercury. And
it just put season 2 on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
so I've been trying to get caught up on it.
Season 3 is about to launch, so get caught up.
Wow.
It's going to be directed by my arch nemesis, Bryan Singer, but as long as he's not directing an X-Men movie, this will probably be a good movie.
Did Brian get all that letter that you sent him about slander and stuff like that? About
well, I got blocked on everything by him, so I'm guessing yes. Avatar is getting 4 sequels. Why? Because, I don't know, money. Sigourney Weaver said there's a reason. Nobody cares.
So the 4th sequel, holodeck.
Yeah, what? I don't even care at this point. The only thing I care about Avatar is if he does make good, if James Cameron makes good on, we don't have to have 3D glasses to watch 3D, well then I'm in. Other than that, I'm out.
Don't care.
Let's see what else. Blah, blah, blah. Sylvester Stallone is going to be writing the Creed 2 sequel. Pretty cool.
I'm fine with that. Didn't he write the first one?
No, he didn't write Creed. I think somebody else did. I think that was a Ryan Coogler deal.
I think it's as long as it's got what's his face? We talked about it. The Russian guy.
Drago?
Yes.
Yeah, Drago.
As long as he's in it, then I'm fine.
I don't care. I'm in. I really love Creed. It's a great movie. Check it out.
Yeah, awesome.
Channing Tatum apparently has confirmed that he is in fact still working on. He's working on the Gambit movie right now, so I guess that's still happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. He talked about that in his Kingsman 2. There was we'll talk about that in trailers.
Are we going to talk about that? I've got to talk about that.
And then last couple of things we got. Apparently, there's some dude who made Catfish is in talks to direct a live-action Mega Man movie. At least I think it's live-action. The article didn't really say. I like Mega Man, whatever. Cool. And finally, last little bit of news. The Game of Thrones showrunners, David Benioff and Dan Weiss, have announced their next project after Game of Thrones is over. And it is not going to be a Game of Thrones spinoff. So it had been long rumored that they would not be involved in any Game of Thrones spinoff. Apparently that is in fact true. Their next show is going to be a TV series called Confederacy, and it's already causing drama, and people are mad about it and raging on the internet.
Whoa,
what is that noise?
That is I'm sweating because it's so hot.
Why are you sweating?
Oh my god, where'd you go?
Well,
are you there?
We're going to have a lot of great feedback.
Sorry.
Alright, well, whatever. Well, Ryan sweats. I'll allow him to talk about... Tell people what Confederacy is about.
It's 97 degrees.
Alright, whatever.
If you want an idea of what the heat is like in the Confederacy.
Yeah, I know what the heat's like. I was just down there. So anyway, this new show, Confederacy, is kind of a what-if drama. Think Man in the High Castle of basically what would have happened had the South actually been able to succeed from America, from the Union, and make their own country. Apparently, the backdrop is there's a third civil war on the on the horizon, and slavery is still a big part. It's big business now for the South, and it's got a lot of really good ideas, I think, that are rich for drama, right? I think there's a lot of people who are against slavery. So basically take everything that happened in the, 1865 and transport it to now, but make it in the future, right? So I think it's going to have, there's a lot of people who are trying to end slavery, and there's a lot of people who are trying to get the South back into the North, and
it's from the press release that there's going to be like abolitionists, there's going to be freedmen, there's going to be bounty hunters, like the people that were tracking down like runaway slaves. So it's definitely not Game of Thrones.
No, it's not Game of Thrones, and I think it's, like I said, it's got a lot of great ideas of ways to reflect things that are going on now and reflect them to what happened in the past, right? So there's been a lot of people who are already very angry about this on both sides. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, we definitely don't need to show embracing slavery or showing, hey, slavery's this and that." And I don't think this show is going to embrace slavery as anything. Like I said, if anybody's watched Man in the High Castle, basically the Nazis in Japan won World War II, and it shows America divided behind them. It doesn't glorify it. It doesn't say this is the best way. What it does is it allows to show what if, and it reflects things that we are currently dealing with now. I mean, and I think this show is going to be very much like that. You know, a lot of people down south are saying, oh, you're going to show Southerners in a bad light. I think what the show is going to do is I think a lot of people forget the lessons that we've learned in history over time. And I think this show is going to do a good job of kind of drugging those up so that you see how, even though things are very much different than they were back then, how similar they are too, right? And I think there's going to be a lot of great, like I said, great ideas for parallels that are going to allow you to really, it's going to be a good show, I think. And I also think it's going to allow you to maybe take a look at things now and realize, like, hey, maybe we should look differently at some things, or maybe things aren't as great as we've always thought they were.
Maybe we should take down all of those Confederate monuments and...
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Maybe these are hurtful. Maybe, you know, maybe even a lot of people live down south who think, oh, the Confederates were, you know, maybe none of us lived back then, right? And of course it's a TV show, so take it with a grain of salt. But TV shows a lot of times, especially of material like this, allow us to reflect and think differently about things. I know I've talked on the show at length about how Sense8 has changed the way I've looked at a lot of LGBT things. And, you know, maybe not changed the way I looked at them, but enriched, you know, kind of deepened the broader strokes of how I view that, right? And I think the Confederacy could do a lot in that ways too. People who think like, oh, you know, slavery happened a long time ago, you know, we should all just forget about it. I think when you have a show that shows like, hey, this is what happened, I think you're going to see a lot of crazy parallels to what's going on a lot in America now still. And I think it could be a show that really could make people think about things. And I think it'd be a very thought-provoking show.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping that it stokes a lot of conversation, but good conversation, not like, you know, negative stuff. But, I mean, HBO is a great canvas to try and do things like that. So. Well,
and honestly, anybody who brought Game of Thrones to life, we should give them a shot to show us what it is before we try and burn their houses to the ground. You know, and like I said, either side, I can understand maybe some skepticism about this, but like anything I say, you know, check it out. Let's not kill it before it's made, and not, you know, be all outraged before we even know what we're being outraged about. So anyway, that's all the news we got. We got a few trailers. We're kind of running long, so I think we'll just kind of blow through some of these trailers. The only one I even wanted to talk about at length was Bright. So real quick, we got a whole bunch of new trailers this week. There's one that just released today, probably because we got Comic-Con. We're going to have a lot of trailers coming out over the next couple weeks. We got a new Michael Fassbender thriller called The Snowman. It looks creepy as hell. Check it out.
I'm not watching that.
Oh, come on. Don't be a wuss.
Dude, that sounded like the guy with like the snowman face. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a Silence of the Lambs type movie. At least it looks like that. Apparently it's based on a very beloved novel. I've never read it. So I'm kind of excited for this movie. Me and my wife like a good horror, like, serial killer movie, so we'll check this out. The Kingsman, the Golden Circle, Kingsman 2, released a new trailer. They just kind of released two trailers. The first one was an actual trailer. I didn't watch it because I want to see the movie a lot, and I'm really excited about it, so me and Ryan are taking the stance. First trailer, second trailer, sorry. But it is up there if you guys want to check it out. I'm sure it's really good. They also did release an animated trailer that tied in with Archer, the animated TV show.
Which was amazingly done.
You should definitely watch that. It has nothing to do with the movie, and it makes me want a 1 hour Archer-Kingsman crossover now. Like, right now.
If you love yourself some Archer.
Jigsaw, the new Saw reboot, his trailer for that movie's out. It looks awful like the other ones, like in a good way, but I don't know. I'm not going to watch it. Fuck those things.
Nope.
The Defenders released a new trailer that it was basically the old trailer with additional footage, with the first like 30-40 seconds of it being narrated by Stan Lee. It's pretty cool. I recommend checking it out. It doesn't give away much more than you saw the first trailer. But if you want to wait, the Defenders series is coming out on Netflix in the end of August, so it's right around the corner. It's about a month away. Let's see, what other trailers did we get? We got... my computer here. We got...
There was the Shine trailer, or Bright, or whatever.
Talk about that in a second. Blade Runner 2049 got a new one. Didn't watch that because I want to see the movie, but I heard it was good.
I've already seen the first one.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I didn't really like the first one all that much. I'll watch the second one just because I care about my craft, and I'm sure people will want to talk about it, so hey, whatever. And then last but not least, Will
Smith.
No, Pacific Rim Uprising got a cool new trailer. Definitely check it out. Jeff, I'm talking to you. You can totally watch this trailer. It doesn't give away in the movie. It's basically like a Starship Troopers ad.
Promotional, yeah.
Do you want to know more? It was like, join the Jaeger Uprising.
Sign up and become a Jaeger master.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Check it out. Let's see. And then finally, what Ryan was talking about, Netflix released the first full-length trailer of a movie that we had heard about that they were making called Bright. They paid $90 million for the right to make this, and they brought on David Ayer, the guy who did End of Watch, Suicide Squad, Fury, one of the best World War II movies I've ever seen. And it stars Will Smith. So they were pulling out all the stops for this movie. It is a major motion picture type movie. And we got a little teaser, about 3 months ago?
Yeah.
And it showed...
It's completely different.
It showed, like, fairies and Will Smith holding a sword, and we were like, what is this about? Well, we get the first trailer, and we kind of find out what this is about. This is actually more like... What was that show? Remember that show, Alien something? The one where they had the aliens had to come live with humans. Came out in the 80s. God, I cannot remember. But anyway...
You couldn't squirt them with salt water or something.
Yeah, salt water, and they drank rotten milk. God, what? Oh, I cannot remember what that is. Anyway, this looks a lot like that. It's basically like humans and mythical creatures live together in the real world, right? It's a cop drama, so it looks like End of Watch, where it's a police officer, Will Smith, and his partner, who's a troll.
Yeah.
Who take on supernatural stuff. Well, they find a girl, like an elf, who's got a magic wand. Well, apparently magic wands are, like, outlawed. There's only a few of them. And everybody in this movie is trying to get this magic wand. It sounds crazy, but it looks really good.
And apparently like the magic wand are, like, basically, it's like it lets you grant whatever you want. So if you want to be 10 inches taller... it does everything. You know what's funny?
You know what my first reaction to this trailer was? Is this is the movie that Suicide Squad wanted to be.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, totally out there, massively different. I'm excited for this.
How does Netflix make their money off this, though?
Subscriptions.
You subscriber?
Yeah. Hey, I don't care. All I know is I get to watch this for free. It looks like a major motion picture, like, big budget movie. And we get to watch it for free in December, so I'm excited. Anyway, check out the trailer. Let us know what you think. Like I said, I think it looks pretty fucking amazing. But as always, we want to hear what you guys think.
Please let us know.
All right. Moving on. So we had a lot of news. We actually burned up a lot of time. We promised you guys a quick review of Castlevania. Me and Ryan both checked it out. It's a new series that aired on Netflix this last week. And we promised in the last episode that we'd check it out. So we do not want to let you guys down. But we'll do a short review because honestly, I don't want to spoil anything. It's only 4 episodes. And there's not a ton to talk about. So
yeah, there are 4 episodes and they're only 23 minutes long. So and they all flow really quickly. So you can just watch all 4 and
yeah, it's about an hour of your life.
Yeah.
Hour and a half of your life.
Yeah. So it's okay. Are we going to start off by like introducing it or anything like that, or you just want to dive right in?
I don't know. I mean, what, like introduce it so I can cut it for a segment later? Sure. Hey, today on Geek Dad Report, me and Ryan are going to review the new Netflix series Castlevania. It's available now to watch on Netflix. It is 4 episodes. They're about 25 minutes long. It is not for children. It's animated, and it is bloody as hell. So we do not recommend you let your children watch it. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, but as always, we're going to spoil a few things because, hey, we're going to talk about it. So if you don't want to know anything, we recommend you just go in and check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think, but if you want to know what we think, here you go. Ryan, tell the people what the show was about.
Well, it's about the vampire. What kind of thing is his name?
Okay,
Dracula.
so this series is about Dracula.
It's about Dracula. Essentially, he
tries to be good.
falls in love. Dracula falls in love. He's a lovely Dracula, and he lost his love, and he takes out a very unproportional amount of vengeance on people.
No, I think it's pretty proportionate. What they did to his wife is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
and the church is kind of full of dicks, so.
Not actual dicks, but preachers who are dicks. But yes, to Ryan's point, it's based very loosely on the Castlevania game series. I was trying to think. It does have a Belmont. I don't think it's Simon, though. What was his name? I don't think it was Simon Belmont in this. It was...
I
want to say it was over with a T. Hang on, let me look. You can always tell, as always, we're prepared for this segment.
So, and it has God, it's got... What's the name of the Druid people? The Watchers?
Alright, hang on. So, yes. Sorry, I did my research, everybody. As you can tell, this is just a riveting segment here. It is Trevor Belmont. So if you're hoping for Simon Belmont, who is the classic Belmont of Castlevania, it is not that Belmont. I do have a feeling they're going to reference him in the future on this series. The good news is, like we said, this is only a 4-episode series. It has been renewed already for a longer season 2. So feel free to watch this, and when it ends and you go, wait a minute, what happens next? It's all coming soon. But yeah, basically it's got a lot of the things you really like from what the hell are they called?
It's got bloody. It's got animation.
What are those people called? Are they Seekers?
Seekers or the Watchers or
the Watchers. I don't know. They got magicians. All right, fuck. Let's quit trying to actually like name it exactly. You got vampire hunters. You got demons. You got dickhole preachers. You got magicians.
Giant troll things with one eye.
You got troll things with one eye. You have asshole like peasants. You have drunkard heroes.
It's not the love.
Anyway, forget all that. It's loosely based on the games. It's got most of the things from the games that you do love. If you were a big fan of the games, you're going to notice, like, oh, it's got this and it's got that. It's got a lot of tie-ins. But basically, like to Ryan's point, the loose story is Dracula's real pissed. And in a year, he gives everyone a year, and then he's going to rain down hell. Well, a year later comes, and now he's raining down hell. And Trevor Belmont, whose family has been disgraced, who's been fighting vampires and stuff his whole life, who doesn't want to do it anymore, gets drugged back into this. And by the end, you have a pretty cool setup for everyone to go try and hunt down and kill Dracula. So, the animation is amazing in this. That was my favorite part about this. The story was good, and the voice acting is good, but the animation is like as good as anything you'll see on like a DC animated movie.
Yeah, especially when they got to like the fight scenes and stuff like that. Especially like in the 4th episode where they got to the big fight scenes with the fire and
the magic. Stuff. The magic is exciting, but the thing I love the most is Trevor Belmont is amazing with a whip, right? So if you like whips from Castlevania, which is the signature weapon in Castlevania, it's what made it different than any other game. This cartoon series is very much like that. Like he does shit with a whip I've never seen, and it's awesome. I mean, he whips out a dude's eyeball.
Some of the demons look pretty cool, like especially the one with the big glowy eyes, and they had like the big giant mouth. And
it earns its mature rating. It not only is it really, really violent, it's kind of scary to tell you the truth. But it's written by Warren Ellis, who did a lot of comic books. Really good writer. It's really good. It's a strong story. Like I said, strong acting, good dialogue, and the animation is top notch. I enjoyed this. I literally watched all 4 episodes like back to back to back. I just set it up like a movie, and I just couldn't stop until it was over.
Yeah, I was just gonna watch 1 episode, and then the next thing I know, I watch all 4.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil who the end fight scene is, but the end boss battle in this series is fucking awesome. It is so badass. Like I said, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, we'll. I think that's all we need to say. highly recommend this. 4 thumbs up and a couple toes. Watch Castlevania. Do not watch it around your kids. This is not for children. Do not watch it around children.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
And get excited for season 2. I don't know when it's coming out. I've heard rumors that they actually that they had almost completed. It was supposed to be like one 13-episode season, and then they cut it into 2. So the rumor is that we're going to get season 2 like before the end of the year, so we don't have to wait like a full year to get the second half. So anyway, moving on. The one thing I will say is that these are the same people who are doing the Assassin's Creed animated Netflix series that we talked about last time, and watching this got me real excited for Assassin's Creed too.
If that's the thing, then I might have to watch it.
I could literally watch a ton. I mean, you want to do anything. You want to do any animated series based on video games, I'll watch it I'll watch it like Castlevania is. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Sign me up. All right, that's it. Moving on. Faithful 50.
So we had a couple questions. The first one is from David, and he wants to know what is your favorite video game of all time, and his is StarCraft for N64. So, Brian, what's your favorite video game of all time?
You know, I really thought about this because there's a couple of them, right? But I had to go back to my roots. Like, what made me a fan of video games? What was it that really, I would have to say, I'm going to have to go with Final Fantasy III as my favorite video game of all time because that is the game that made me fall in love with RPGs,
Mm-hmm.
I love Knights of the Old Republic. That is one of my favorite newer RPGs. But I would have never got into RPGs if it hadn't been for Final Fantasy III. First-person shooters. And then I had a tie with first-person shooters because I couldn't just say one type of game. So I'm a huge first-person shooter. I love Halo. Halo 1 is one of my all-time favorite games. But without GoldenEye, I don't know if I would have got into first-person shooters and even got into Halo. So I'm going to say Final Fantasy III with a close second to GoldenEye.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm with you. Final Fantasy III was my first introduction to that kind of RPG games. And it's one of the few games that where I actually played it all the way through and beat it at least like 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
And then I'm going to say my second favorite is going to be Madden. Only just because like I just remember my brother and I just sitting on the edge of our bed playing, and then just wailing on each other for cheap shots, and you're cheating on that interception. You're watching what I'm picking for my plays, and just fight, and then all that. And that was like some of the first sports games I got to play with my brothers. So I'm gonna say Final Fantasy III, Madden.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks, David. David actually had a follow-up question. He wanted to know when we were going to start doing live shows again.
Never.
We're done. Screw you. Next question. No, Dave, we're going to try and do a live show every now and then. We're going to try and keep it as like an event when we'll try and build it up. Maybe every 10 episodes we'll do a live one. But honestly, there hasn't been a ton of like, we've had a few people like interested, but it's not something that's been, people have been demanding. So, hey, more people to demand it. Me and Ryan would love to do live shows, but right now we find that the presentation is better when we don't do a live show. But we will do. We've been talking about it. We will. I guess the short answer is we're going to try and do them every so often, but they will be coming. We'll let you guys know, and we'll try and plan one and get you guys all involved. Try and build it up, make it fun, special, sexy.
So we had next one from Jeff, and he didn't have apparently not listened to our Game of Thrones episode.
Bad Jeff.
He wants to know, what do you think about these cameos, like Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones? Do you think it's a bit jumping the shark? And then he thinks it's cool. He knows that Toronto Blue Jays third baseman Josh Donaldson was a huge Vikings fan, and they put him in an episode last season. So, what do you think about these famous people getting into all these super awesome TV shows that make people jealous?
I think it's fine. If me and you were super famous, I'd try and get a cameo in a Star Wars movie or something, but
I would too.
I think it's fine. Ed Sheridan, I don't know his name. Little Eddie. It felt a little awkward and out of place, but I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was whatever. If I didn't know who he was, I probably wouldn't even noticed, honestly.
Yeah, I personally don't care. I mean, I'm more involved, more interested in the stories and the faces that I see. So
yeah, I mean, I think as long as they make it part of the story and don't like go out of their way to be like, look, it's David Hasselhoff playing a zombie. You know, I mean, whatever. I think it's fine.
Yeah,
everybody loves this stuff. It's going to be hard to not get famous people to pull some strings and get on these things.
Yeah, well, it'll be fine. People just need to settle down.
Yeah, whatever. I personally, I don't give a shit. I think it's fine. It doesn't bother me like it bothers other people. Apparently, I mean, the internet went after Eddie. I felt bad for him.
So our last question, I think this will kind of tie into your review. He wants to know, is Tom Holland the best, or this is from Brian Curtis, sorry. He wants to know if Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, and what do you want to see him team up, or who do you want to see him team up with in Infinity War?
Okay, well, I'm going to say, oh man, we didn't even talk about the Infinity War news. Apparently in D23 they released a trailer and it showed Thanos like throwing a moon at the Avengers. Apparently it already showed Spider-Man teaming up with Doctor Strange. Yeah. So, apparently there was some joking, like the Guardians found Thor floating, so they brought him on their spaceship. And he was unconscious. They didn't find him floating. Smashed into the windshield. Oh, smashed into the windshield. And apparently they were all like, as he's waking up, they're like, okay, act tough. And they're all like posing for him. You know, who would I personally like to see him team up with? I would like to see Spider-Man team up with Daredevil. But he's not even going to be in Infinity Wars.
Yeah. How about Hulk?
I would like to see him team up with Hulk. I would really like to see him team up with Captain America. They had that, like, chemistry in Civil War. How cool would it be to see, like, Spider-Man jumping and Captain America, like, throw his shield, bounce it off Thanos, and then Spider-Man webs it and spins it and hits it?
You can finally show Aunt May the Steve from Brooklyn that beat him up.
Oh, God, I wish you'd seen Spider-Man, Ryan. There's so much I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question, Brian, that's who I'd like to see him team up with, Captain America. And yes, I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. I'm going to expand on that here in a second when I give my Spider-Man review here and what you should or shouldn't do, waste your time doing this week. So, I don't know, should we just jump into it? Did you have anything, or did you just want me to spend the time reviewing Spider-Man?
Just go ahead and jump in.
All right, everybody. So for this week on, well, first of all, thank you, Brian, for your question. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who sent us something, who spent a little bit of time this week giving us something to talk about on the show. We appreciate it, as always. And if you don't know what it's about and you're new to the show, every Thursday, me and Ryan will put up a post, and you can ask us a question. If you think of something during the week and we don't have a post up, feel free to hit us up directly, like Jeff did, and send Ryan a message. Or or whatever. We always like any quandaries that we can talk about on the show. So thank you very much, and we look forward to your questions next week, everybody. All right, moving on. All right, so this week on what you should or shouldn't waste your time doing, Ryan has nothing because I want to talk about Spider-Man: Homecoming, the official Geek Dad Report review here now, only 2 weeks after it was released in theaters. So I know you've been dying and waiting. Just sitting on edge, waiting to see what we thought about it. So if you should go see it or not. There
are literally tens of people.
Yeah, like listen, I'm not gonna bury the lead on this one. The movie's fantastic. We all knew it was gonna be. It's a Sony movie done by Marvel, which means it's a Marvel movie, which means it was gonna be good. Same character, same vibe of everything that we saw in Civil War with Spider-Man. The movie is. What can I say about Spider-Man: Homecoming? I'm not going to give any spoilers because I'm sure there's a few people like Ryan who haven't seen it yet. Not that I can spoil too much because honestly the trailer has given away a ton of things in this movie, mostly Iron Man stuff. But even with all that, it is still a great movie. It might be one of the most perfect Marvel movies. It's not the best Marvel movie, but it's probably the perfect Marvel movie as far as its tone. Yeah, well, it captures Spider-Man. It captures Peter Parker. If you took the first 20 issues of Spider-Man, this is that on TV. This is that on big screen, right? This is Spider-Man. This isn't 38-year-old Tobey Maguire pretending to be a high schooler for a week and then, dealing with the shitty life that's Peter Parker. No, this is a kid in high school who has powers, and it's awesome, and he wants to be a hero, but he doesn't know how to be a hero. And he has, because he has, this movie does a great job of portraying that awkwardness that all of us feel in high school, and tack on the fact that he also has superpowers. It is a perfect movie as far as the tone of the character, the struggles he goes through. When he's fighting bad guys, he's not good at it. He falls over, he misses targets, he's screwing up. He makes all kinds of mistakes. It's kind of refreshing to see a guy who's just not perfect at everything, right? It is the perfect Spider-Man movie. It's got a ton of humor. It's got a ton of heart. You care about these characters, and it's not as epic as some of these other movies, right? I mean, it doesn't have massive battles. I mean, it has a couple great, really good fights with like the Vulture and stuff like that. It's not unexciting. It's just not, you don't expect Spider-Man in his very first adventure to have to fight the Sinister Six and save the world from nuclear holocaust. No, it's a very small story about a guy trying to help his neighborhood and be a hero, right? And he fights another guy, who, Michael Keaton, might be the best villain Marvel's had in a movie. It's a guy that his story makes sense. He's a bad guy, but you could totally see most of anybody becoming him, right? You're like, he's got a legitimate gripe of why he's a villain.
And he's the Vulture. That's not what you really think.
Yeah, and it is a great movie. Like I said, in my opinion, it's Marvel's most perfect movie they've made, from start to finish. It's a great addition to the Spider-Man universe. There's not a lot you haven't seen in comic book movies before, so unfortunately, I think if this movie came out 15 years ago, it might be the greatest comic book movie ever made. Now we have things like Civil War and The Winter Soldier and all these other grand spectacle films, so it takes a little bit away from some of the things you do see in this. But I don't know. It's a great movie, start to finish. I laughed my ass off. I cared about the characters, and Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. It is the best Spider-Man film, in my opinion. I know Spider-Man 2 is a really good movie with Doc Ock, and I know a lot of people still hold that in high regard, as do I. But I think this is more of a Spider-Man movie than any Spider-Man movie we've had before. So this is the character that I grew up caring about. This is Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Peter Parker. And Marvel, shocker, they nailed their best character, and I can't wait to see. I'd heard rumors that Peter Parker could be the new Tony Stark of the Marvel Universe, right, the MCU. And at first I was like, yeah, right, come on. But after watching this, you can totally see it. I mean, you're going to grow up with this character, and in 2 or 3 movies, you could totally see him leading the Avengers. I mean, it's just, it's a great movie. And highly recommend it, 2 thumbs up, go watch it. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's a solid movie. I loved it a lot, and unfortunately I can't talk about the things I loved because Ryan has not seen it, and I don't want to spoil it for him. So, but there's some legitimate, there's 2 or 3 legitimate moments in this movie that make you feel, right? Feel things that, like, most comic book movies don't make you feel. You feel for this character. You feel the struggle that he goes through trying to be a hero because he's just a guy who happens to have powers, and it's a good movie. So check it out. As always, there's 2 post-credit scenes. Stay for both of them. The last one might be my favorite ever. So check it out, watch it. Yeah, it's a great movie. Highly recommend it.
Well, now I feel bad. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you should. It's a good movie. My only criticism is that damn you, Sony, for ruining some of the best parts of the movie in all your goddamn trailers.
Yeah, that's why we have our new rule.
Yep.
So.
Nope. We should just call it the Spider-Man rule, because Spider-Man Homecoming is the reason why I will not watch any more trailers. Because when I saw that part when the ferry gets split in half, and then they push it together, and Iron Man shows up, like, literally, that's like a super cool part of the movie. And it's a big part of the movie, and they showed the whole thing in the trailer. So
nice.
But yeah, good movie. Check it out. Ryan, I know you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, do you got anything else before we get out of here?
No. If you want to find us, we are on the Geek Dad Report on Twitter and on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report. We're on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report. You can find Brian at BrianWest53 on Twitter, and I am Big Bruiser. We are on podhell.com and iTunes. So make sure you subscribe, give us comments, do all that fun stuff that our brand new listener did. So
Sten
do all that.
Johansson, the Norwegian legend.
And you can be a legend too. Not quite as much as him, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, preferably on our show by subscribing to our channel. Plus, you get all kinds of awesome goodness free of charge. All you got to do is like, subscribe, and share. That's it.
That's it.
Spider-Man. He'll even show you a spider bulge. It's Ryan's favorite part of Spider-Man. All right, well, on that note, thanks for joining us for another edition of the show.
105th episode.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one, everyone. Stay nerdy.
And don't forget to watch our Game of Thrones specials every week for 7 weeks. We made a decision. And our Comics You Crave segment that's coming up right now.
Yes.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.